Okay, so now we're going to learn to pull the door panel off, and the purpose for doing this might be upgrading speakers. You might be wanting to do something with this trim here. I've seen people take this gray, color that. Plenty of awesome reasons to take this out. Dynamat behind, do some sound dampening or whatever. So let's get to the first step. Alright, first up, we're going to go behind your door handle here. Now this is for the front doors first. If you pull this open and look in there, bottom left corner, you can see where that little plate in the back doesn't quite cover that corner there. That's going to be the spot where you pry, and this whole piece right here will pull out. Now what I'm using is just a little hook tool. Honestly anything you can get in there and pull that thing. You don't have to pull very hard. Alright, so I'm just going to reach in there, get behind that, boom, it's out. Alright, now this is what you're pulling out. You can see I scratched it up the first time, not knowing what I was doing, but super easy to pull. This thing pops straight out. And next up, we've got a 7mm bolt in there. So let's get that pulled out and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're on the 7mm bolt right here, and I'm using the same thing I used if you saw my dash trim video. Just an extension with a 7mm socket on the end. And as far as I know, this is the first time these panels have been pulled. And there you go. I mean, I'm just twisting this by hand. Super loose. Okay, now we've got our 7mm bolt pulled out up here. If you'll look just behind the door pull, this handle on the door, you'll see one of these. I'm going to use the same hook tool to open that up. Okay, we've got this opened up now. You've got another 7mm bolt right in there. Gonna use the same thing. Yeah, and this is only hand tightened as well. There we go. On to the next thing. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do, I got the 7mm bolt out. I'm going to work on this piece right here just because it looks like right in there the door panel kind of goes up behind this. So really easy piece. This one practically pulls straight out. I've got a little pry tool here. So here we go. That's it. This piece just pulls straight out. You've just got two push pins right there. Really easy. Alright, what we're working on now is we're going to pry out the push clips, the push pins, all the way around the edge of the door panel here. Alright, I'm going to start on the inside edge here, just going under here. So we got one there. It's the bottom loose. Going up under the edge here, which that's already popped loose. I know there was one there. Alright. Looks like we've got all those pried out. Now, you see, that's not the door swinging, that's the whole panel coming off there. So now what you want to do is actually, you're not going to pull this thing out. It's not just popped into place. It should be hooked into place. So once you get the sides and the bottom undone, we're going to lift up on the door panel. Yeah, as you can see, it's coming up right there. And there's our panel. Here's what we're looking at. I'm going to need to unplug those. that's a cable going to the door pull right there, the door handle. We've got the window controls down in there. Alright, I want to give you some detail as we're looking down into the door panel from the top. On this, the door handle mechanism, if we pop this silver piece out and pull out, you'll realize that the cable, almost like you would see on a bicycle, the handbrakes on a bicycle or something, you've got the cable that's running inside this, goes through there, and you see the ball on the end right there. So if we get this gray part out, you see the cable comes out that way, and there, your ball just lifts straight up through there, and that's the door handle undone. Alright, now we've got this thing pulled. Again, we saw how to remove this from the door handle. The window controls and all that, that was simply, you know, plugs. Got your little tabs right here that you push in on both of those. Push in on these tabs and the plugs come undone. Something to look out for, it does look like some of the push pins came out of the door panel, so we're going to pry those out. Here's the back of your door panel, you know, where your pins are. We've got one there. Now looking from the other side, this is furthest outside of the door. We've got one there, one here, and it does look like this one stayed in the door. One there, one on the bottom, that one stayed in the door. One there, so one there. Now again, that's 4 across the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and the yellow one 4. We've got one here just by the speaker, and this one's decided to stay in the door as well. One here, and then one here that stayed in the door. So those should be easy enough to pop out and slide back in. It looks like they just slid out of here. Nothing appears to be broken, so door panel is intact. So this is what the inside looks like. You know, we've got some sound dampening here that's looks like it's going to be melted on. Yeah, it's melted on in several places. There. One more detail on the front door panels. I know we had someone in the Facebook group asking, how do we pull this trim piece with the window controls and stuff in it? I believe he was wanting to paint or vinyl wrap or something with that. Door panel does have to come off for that to come out, and here is exactly why. We've got screws in here holding that piece in, so once you unscrew that, you should be able to pull that out of the front of your door. And as far as this sound dampening goes, like I said, it was melted into place. So if you take it off, you see you've got to tear it, leaving behind like where that was. So you could trim that off if you wanted to and clean it up. But hot glue, you know, any kind of adhesive, there's lots of stuff you could do to put this stuff back in the door. Should not be a problem at all. And also another note is this the gray piece right here is actually, from what it looks like, we've got plastic welds in place, actually holding that on all the way around on the bottoms of it and all. So if you wanted that out, you're gonna have to get a razor or something and cut these off, and then pull it, and then when you put this back in, you know, some sort of adhesive or an epoxy, maybe even something really strong to hold it into place so it doesn't, you know, vibrate with sound or rattle going down the road. Okay, so rear door, equally as simple as the front door. Super easy. This whole process, taking all 4 door panels off, assuming you watch this video once or twice, it might take you 30 minutes. Really easy to pull. So first thing we're going to do is move this this lock pull. I already had it mostly loosened off, but we're going to take that off. And then if you'll remember, behind the door panel, or the door handle here, same little deal there, front and back. So we pop that out. And then same thing in the back, right there behind the door handle. Really easy to open. And this is the same 7mm bolt. Loose enough that I'm doing this by hand. There we go. Same thing behind here, 7mm bolt. And next thing, if you remember on the front, we pulled the plastic trim right there up top on the back of the mirrors. So on the back, what we're going to do is pull this piece, and this is on the back, the inside of your door handles. And to do that, again, plastic pry tool. And these are just push pins. I believe there's 3 in this piece. There we go. Okay, so we took a little spill there. Alright, so here's the piece that comes off on the inside of the door handle. Just 3 push pins. Super easy, in and out. Alright, we got that out. Next step is pulling on the door panel all around the edge. Remember, we've got the push pins all around the edge of the door. We're going to just pry those out with this. So I'm getting behind it with this curved edge and just sort of pulling out. Alright, looks like we've still got one right in here somewhere. There it goes. Alright, and here's how you'll know your door panel is ready to pull. It's completely swinging away from the door there. Now, if you remember, we're not going to pull this thing straight out, we're going to lift it up. So I'm going to put my knee on the bottom of it down here and pull up right here. Straight up. There we go. Same deal looking down on the inside. We've got the door handle, which we saw how to pull out, and a plug down there for window controls. And that's it. I've got all 4 door panels pulled. This probably took me 20-25 minutes. And again, before we go to reinstall, you will have to pull. Some of these clips want to stay in the door. So something like this pulls those straight out. Here we go. And the round part on the bottom of it there, you just slide that into the door panel, and that leaves that sticking out to go back in the door. So just a small note before reinstallation, make sure you check all your clips, put them all back into your door panels, and here's what we've got. All 4 door panels pulled. You know, here's a good look at the outside, which I hope you already know what it looks like. Here's the inside of the rear door. Little sound dampening. Again, the trim comes off with it on the window controls with these Torx head screws. I'm not sure what size Torx bit that's going to be. And again, the sound dampening is melted on in a few spots. So looks like I'll be riding around with no door panels for about a week until we get everything done to them. Okay, so one more thing, I just wanted to show some of the tools that I use. These aren't super hard to get or anything. The hook tool I used is this third one right here. I got this at Lowe's. It cost me $5 or $6. And these are the plastic pry tools that I was using. Come in this little pouch. I got this on Amazon for $11 or $12. And each one has like 2 sides to the tool. I mean, these things come in handy big time. If you get in here with a screwdriver, you know, prying on your doors, you're definitely gonna scratch up the plastic if you slip, and you're gonna bend it out and discolor it when it stretches and stuff. You know, so spend the extra $11. Go get something like this or anything. You can find some household item, plastic, to pry your door panels off, or any trim like that. You're definitely, it's worth the money. You're gonna save your trim. So it's a very noisy ride with these door panels off. Just hear all the rattle. That's insane. All right, we're at the end of my little street here.